there, I'm Chase Sr. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Appreciate all of you for making this show a part of your day and taking the time out of your day to hang out here with me. Coming up, will the Philadelphia Eagles make a move? We are approaching the NFL trade deadline coming up on November 5th, and we know that Howie Roseman, always aggressive, always looking to improve his football team. So do the Eagles have a move in store? Let's talk about it. I also want to pass along a very interesting trade idea from Diana Russini, NFL insider for The Athletic. Let's begin with this, though. I had some Cowboys fans in my DMs, and one of our Cowboys fans here at the office, including the Cowboys Report host and Tom Downey, reach out to me. And I've seen people saying Eagles Now is blowing up, but I guarantee you, you're not going to get to 89,000 subscribers. You know what I said? I take that as a challenge. Competition brings the best out of everybody, and given how passionate Eagles fans are and how many real ones there are out there, I think that we can do that. Let's get to 89,000K to shut them up. They just got pounced and dominated by the San Francisco 49ers, and frankly, I don't think they're a very good team. 490 people away. Hit that sub button. Eagles shows coming your way every single day right here on this channel. So let's start off with what Nick Sirianni had to say about Philadelphia making a move. Of course, he's not the general manager for this football team, but he's in lockstep with Howie Roseman. And he said this to begin the week in the aftermath of that Eagles win over the Bengals. I love the team that we have, and I think this team is really coming together. With that being said, I know we're always looking for ways to improve our team. I know Howie is the best at that, of always looking at ways he can improve the squad. I admire that and value that of how he goes to work there. But like I said, love the guys that we have. I think we're coming together really nicely as a team, but we'll see how this next week plays out. Each year is different. And again, like I said, any way that we can make the team better, I'm always up for that. And some takeaways from what Sirianni said there specifically. I really do believe that during this 3-game winning streak, Philadelphia started to find an identity. They come out of the bye week against Cleveland. It was an ugly win. Then 2 straight dominant victories where they found we could be a really successful running team. And when we spread the football out, and when Jalen Hurts is playing his best ball, and when we give him the leeway to target all areas of the field, both from sideline to sideline and all 3 levels, we can really gash you. We're very difficult to defend. We've been very good on the back end defensively, where we were terrible last year, thanks to a couple of rookies in Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper Jean. Our defensive line, led by some young players, starting to turn the corner. We know what Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond are. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship, they've been really steady at that safety spot. And obviously with Philadelphia, they always prioritize offense. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, great wide receiver duo. Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, good at tight end. This offensive line, still one of the best in the NFL. Saquon Barkley sneakily, against the Bengals, had more than 100 rushing yards. So this is a team that's really deep. And I think they found their identity with who they want to be. They're also having fun, and that's great to see too. The culture is back for the Eagles. And as a CEO head coach for Nick Sirianni, that's one of his jobs. Put together a good culture, have your overall football operation be well coached, in sync, and find that identity because you're overseeing the entire operation. As far as the Eagles making a move, pass rush, it's unknown. 5 sacks against the Browns, 8 against the Giants, 1 against the Bengals. Of course, you're not going to sack the quarterback 5 times or 8 times on the regular. Joe Burrow also got the ball out very quickly. That was the game plan for Cincinnati. But it's difficult to gauge because you have some talent there. You're banking on some young players really starting to progress and develop, which they are. But do you need to make another move? Other needs, edge, linebacker, safety, you're pretty set on offense. Wide receiver 3, Jahan Dotson isn't even involved with this offense. He played very few snaps against Cincinnati, and he didn't do anything. So when you think about the Eagles' biggest need, it's pass rush, I would think, right? And I think a lot of people would agree with me. That's why this trade idea from Diana Russini over the weekend caught my eye, where Philadelphia would receive Maxx Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders, and then the Raiders get a 1st, 4th, and 5th, and then a 2026 second-round pick. It's a lot, but Maxx Crosby is a terrific player. And my thoughts on this trade here, he's one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League and has been since he came into the league. Love how he plays with relentless pursuit, relentless hustle, tenacity, swagger, confidence. He'd be perfect for Philadelphia because it's not like he banks on his athleticism. He banks on pass rush arsenal, pass rush moves, and just having great effort. And what are the Raiders going to do? I know, point number 3, Mark Davis said, we are not trading Maxx Crosby. But you're 2-6. You have no hope. Antonio Pierce said today, we have no identity offensively. It's bad. They don't have a quarterback. And if you're the Raiders, are you going to hold on to a pass rusher during a rebuild? Or could you trade that player and get a bunch of assets back? That's what I'd be thinking about. So should Las Vegas just start over? I would think about it if I'm Mark Davis. And what if you offer the Raiders 2 ones? Do they take that? Because then they can get a couple of really good players or package those picks to move up for a quarterback. They have optionality there. So what say you? Would you trade 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby? I know that wasn't Russini's idea. That's kind of my idea here. 2 for him, maybe 2 for a player like Myles Garrett. I think that's what it could take to persuade those organizations. T for trade, P for pass. Another trade target. This is a pretty popular name for a lot of teams across the NFL who are looking for pass rushing help. It's Zadarius Smith of the Cleveland Browns, and we've talked about him here on the show. Not as expensive as Crosby, not as good as Crosby, not as productive as Crosby, older, but more affordable. NFL Trade Rumors, the website, put together some trade ideas, and here's what one of their writers had to say about this particular move. Eagles general manager Howie Roseman, always on the lookout for pass rush help, including during the season. While Philadelphia has usually been strong up front, not quite the case this year. The Eagles were tied for the 9th most sacks in the league with 19 entering Week 8, and then they picked up 1 more. But that was juiced by big games against the Browns and Giants when the Eagles racked up 13 sacks. Philadelphia's 23rd ranked pressure rate paints a more accurate picture, and they notched just 1 sack in the win against the Bengals. And I think that's a good point there, and that's why I wanted to share that tidbit from the article, because Philadelphia, they might rank 9th or tied for 9th for sacks. 23rd ranked pressure rate, though. That's why you wonder if they'll make a move. And Zadarius Smith has been a very productive player throughout his career. You know that he can get after the quarterback because he's done it. This year he's having a pretty good season. 5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, 5 TFLs, and 24 pressures. And that would be much different than a move than making a play for a Maxx Crosby or a Myles Garrett, right? But you're not going to have to give up as much as you would have to for those star players. And that's where I kind of round out. It's where Howie Roseman is, what he thinks the Philadelphia Eagles need. And we know that he's always looking to improve his football team. And they have 1 more game against Jacksonville to kind of gauge where they are as a football unit to see what they want to do, if they want to do anything, what areas they want to beef up. As for some players on this team who could be traded away, Avonte Maddox, Cooper DeJean has taken over in the slot. He has been sensational for this Eagles team. Him and Quinyon Mitchell look to be the real deal. I know that Maddox played a little bit against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he gave up like 1 really difficult catch to Mike Gesicki. Other than that, it's not like he played terrible, but clearly his best days are behind him. And if a team is looking for a veteran player with a lot of experience to play out of the slot and have safety versatility, he could fit that bill. James Bradbury, we haven't seen him yet this year. If a team needs a corner or a safety and a player who was an all-pro back in 2022, they could elect to maybe make a move for him as long as he's healthy. And if a team wants a young corner with some promise, ability, and potential who is just hidden on this depth chart because of the depth on this Eagles team at the cornerback spot. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers barely plays, and he made a huge play against Cincinnati. Guarding Jamar Chase, turns around, addresses the football, instincts, ball location, tipped it up to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. C.D. Deuce picked it up. Then Eli Ricks could be a player, even though he's been banged up of late, who a team could also covet as well. So let's round out with this. Will the Eagles make a move at the NFL trade deadline? Y for yes, N for no. Share your thoughts with me, and we'll catch you tomorrow here on the show.